I don't care if you've been trying to fucking find the Yakuza all night in Hell's Kitchen. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Cthulhu's Prodigy, coming to you live and direct from the stack. Smoke me out, fam, with that dang shit. We got a special Saturday cast for y'all. On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, choking people out on the threes and fours, Blue.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Oh.
Filling in for Kronos.
All right, and on my immediate right, it's not the old ninja, it's Stitch.
It's the craziest thing in the world, having Prodigy wake you up in the morning from your bed.
Loud and black, you know how I do. And we got special guests up in this motherfucker. We got Fresh and Confucius from those damn comic book guys.
Yeah. It's lit.
Yes, finally with the squad. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Shit. I'm a little sleepy.
Damn, it is early.
What time is it?
It's 11 here. I think it's like 9 there.
Y'all are better than us because there's no way I'd interview anybody at 9 in the fucking morning.
I know. I fucking rolled out of bed like, God damn it, I really gotta do this.
Shit, man, I got them 2 kids and they wake me up at 6 a.m. every morning. Don't even fucking matter. But we're so glad to fucking have y'all on. Y'all got one of the dankest, most awesome podcasts out there, and I've been listening since the very fucking beginning. So
hey, well, thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate it.
Shit.
We're surprised anybody listens to this point.
Well, let's jump into it. I mean, why don't y'all tell us a little bit about, what makes y'all tick in terms of geek credentials? Y'all are comic book fans. You watch the show, TV shows and movies as well related to the comic books. How'd y'all get started with comics?
Well, I guess since he pointed me out, I guess I can.
You always do the intros. I'm horrible at intros.
Anyway, well, we basically grew up reading comic books and collecting comic books and being into comic books, and as you said, the animated series. We are children of the 90s. For you slow people, that doesn't mean we were born in the 90s. And we remember vividly like the X-Men animated series and the Spider-Man animated series, yes. Batman animated, and Superman, which I didn't really care for. But like we grew up watching all of that and like
fuck Superman.
Oh, there we go.
That's what I'm saying.
And but like we grew up watching that, and we grew up like being into that world and that culture. But I think, as we said on our last show, we come from.
We lost one more time. We lost you for a sec. Fresh, Confucius.
Yeah, I think it's probably because they use their phone to Skype.
Let's see if we can get.
We don't.
Lost it. We're getting them right back.
But I do like the point he said about being a '90s kid, not just because you were born
in the '90s.
Yeah. I always use X-Men and the Batman show as like reference points. Like, did you watch that show? Like, oh no, but I was born in 1994.
Yeah.
I was like, get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. So you were 0 when the Bulls won most of their championships.
Exactly.
So, we're getting them back on the line.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can do this.
All
right. Let's try this one more again.
All right.
Sorry, you cut off like right in the middle of your explanation about the fact that you're 90s kids, but not born in the 90s.
Oh, damn. That was... yeah.
Sorry.
We're bad signal here.
Yeah, bad signal. We always got technical difficulties.
Yeah.
But we are children of the 90s, so we remember vividly a lot of the shows that people hold as the comic book crown jewels of animated series. So we were just into those things, and later on down the line, me and Confucius met. Me and Confucius met like doing music, and then we like found out that we both like comic books and were into comic books. So we were talking about it every day for free. So we figured like, man, why don't we start a podcast? Why don't we like actually do something instead of just like talking to each other about it? Why don't we just share all the knowledge that we have obtained over the years? And so that's really how the show came about. Because the podcast was supposed to be something totally different than what it actually is.
Nice.
Yeah, that's basically some of it. He said we met through music. He had a website, a music blog, And I was trying to do my best Puff Daddy impression with a record company.
Dance in the
I
background.
was about to say, you dancing to the videos?
No, that wasn't me. You know what? Let me take that back. I was more like Top Dog. You never saw me. You never would see me. But and then as time went on, like he said, we found out we both like comic books and said, hey, let's do a podcast. And I mean, the rest is history. And we've been arguing. Well, I've been arguing with comic book fans ever since.
Nice. Well, one of the things I love the most about y'all's cast is y'all break down the difference between the casuals who don't read comics but go to the movies and think they know everything sometimes, and the folks who do read, and how important it is to, if you're going to make a film, appeal to really the folks who don't read comic books. Could y'all speak on that a little?
Well, basically, like he was saying, because we come from a world of where being a comic book fan is not as open and celebrated, it's easy for us to go back and forth between trying to explain to people who don't read comic books or only see the movies or only know just a little bit of it, because we understand that we're not always talking to people that read comic books or know the entire mythology. Like if I tell somebody, hey, at one point in time, Spider-Man wasn't Spider-Man, he thought he was a clone and it was Ben Reilly.
Yeah.
A good number of people would be like, what the hell are you talking about? What do you mean he wasn't Spider-Man? I thought he's always been Spider-Man. Or if we say, Batman has a son, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
So and a lot of times on our show, when we're breaking down our points of views, we're trying to think of ourselves in the perspective of somebody who doesn't know what the hell we're talking about. And we can go that direction, like most fans can. We can go the whole complete mythology direction and go deep into 10, 15 years worth of stories. But like I said, most people don't know that. And even some comic book fans don't know that. I get in arguments with people all the time that don't like the X-Men films because they complain that the X-Men aren't wearing yellow and blue. I'm like, they've worn yellow and blue in like 15 years.
Yeah.
So what comic books are you reading where they've worn yellow and blue still, like in the 90s cartoons?
Yeah,
but
that's what they look at.
There's so much mythology, we try to make it as simple as possible.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the movies that are out are mainly for people who don't read comics, because a lot of comic movies aren't for comic book fans. They're for the industry to make that money. People in the seats, and they're not really sticking to the storyline whatsoever. A lot of times.
Well, so now, what comics would you recommend? Obviously, Marvel and DC are some of the big ones, and y'all break those down like none other. But are there any outside of Marvel and DC that you all also read, like maybe some Image stuff, or not really?
Yeah.
This is King Image over here.
I'll feel for Image.
You read that Luther Strode?
I mean, shit, Saga was great, Southern Bastards. Wicked and Divine was okay at first. It kind of fell off a little bit.
Yep.
Odyssey was okay at first. It kind of fell off a little bit. Walking Dead is still pretty good. They're really going closer to the comic books now. Spawn is trying to come back. I would hope he does, because Lord knows I love Spawn 20 years ago. Trying to think who else out there who's on the Image, because Image has a new first issue every damn week.
They sure do.
Sex Criminals.
Sex Criminals, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Isn't Outcast on there?
Mm-hmm.
Outcast is
It's alright. It's okay.
I would suggest Valiant. I'm into Valiant, Exo Man of War, Ninjak, Bloodline, all of that. So I would recommend those.
Good shit. All right.
I love indies because the expanded universe in Marvel and DC can get kind of confusing and frustrating at times because they keep rebooting it. But with indies, there's no expanded universe. So you can really focus in on one story and not say, damn, I have to go back and read 60 years worth of comic books. Yeah, it's not like that.
So what are you guys' thoughts on some of the latest comic book movies that have come out? Do you think people are going to start getting tired of them, or do you think that this sort of wave of popularity and financial success is going to continue for a long time?
I think eventually it will wane, just like any other fad. It eventually wanes. Like I think it was Steven Spielberg that pointed out that the comic book genre of movies is going to suffer the same fate that the westerns did. That's not to say that westerns aren't made anymore, but you don't get westerns as frequently as you did, say, like in the 60s or the 70s.
Yeah.
I think that'll happen. It'll go back to what it was before. You get a comic book movie maybe like once every 2 years or once every 3 years or maybe like once every 4 years. Because God knows, like, Superman had his run and then you saw no more Superman until
Thank God.
Superman Returns, which was god awful. And then like Batman was like every other 2 years, maybe.
Basically.
Maybe. And then when Marvel jumped in the ring, you got Blade, and then like it was just Blade standing alone.
Yeah, everybody always forget about Blade.
Yeah, it was like Blade standing alone until they decided to make it a trilogy, and then Blade 2 came, and then Blade 3. And then even after that, it was still quite some time before you got another Marvel film.
Yeah, since you listed off a few of the like Marvel movies, what do you think like the latest like the Batman and the Spider-Man movies were missing to make them like a big hit in the theaters? That would
Well,
appeal
I
to comic
think
book nerds.
in the case of Spider-Man, what happened was I think people were somewhat confused as to why we were getting a whole new, brand new set of Spider-Man movies when we just had some. Because once again, if you think from casual fans' perspective, they don't really know the news like we do that they're rebooting things. They just kind of see it when the commercials start popping up.
Yeah.
So they're looking at it like, what the hell is it? What's going on with this? Why is there another Spider-Man? I thought we just had a Spider-Man.
Yeah, I actually had one of my aunts asked me when the first Amazing Spider-Man came out. She asked me, she was like, "Well, why are they making Spider-Man? They just had a Spider-Man not too long ago." And I had to explain, this is the movie industry, and Spider-Man makes a lot of money, so you want to milk that cow till there's no more milk there.
But on the flip side of that, though, we all remember a time when it took almost decades for a film to get rebooted. Now it happens, every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
So most people just get confused at that. Older people, like our age and older, like, what is going on here? Like, I had somebody ask me, when did Ben Affleck become Batman? Like 2 weeks before the movie came out. Like, what the hell? When did he become Batman?
Ben Affleck was Batman in 2014.
Exactly. So, and I think with the Spider-Man movies, that was a little bit of fatigue because Spider-Man and Batman are thrown in our face so much by DC and Marvel. A lot of people kind of just like, okay, whatever. We'll see. We'll see how this plays out. And then with Batman versus Superman, same thing. The title, I said from the beginning, that title is going to get a lot of people confused because everybody that saw that didn't read comic books was like, why are they fighting?
Yeah.
Can't Superman fly?
People wanted them to fight too, and the fight scene was really short.
Yeah.
It was like no
Really
longer than
short.
like probably 5 minutes, but yeah, they should have just called it The Dawn of Justice.
Yeah, that should have really been the title.
Basically, I just Batman and Superman. But, with DC trying to get into the ring finally, I think they were just trying to do what they can to get something on the screen and to get the expanded universe started as fast as possible. And I can't blame them. They should have done it years ago, but Harry Potter kept slowing that up. But, I think the reason why, and me and Fresh always touch on this, Batman vs. Superman made a hell of a lot of money, but it's just kind of unfortunate that the money train slowed up so quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Because now it's about to just be after theater. It's not going to be after theaters, but it's not going to break any more records.
Jungle Book came out yesterday.
Yeah, let me ask a real quick one, though, because this came up, I don't know, I was thinking about it last week, and I asked it on the cast, too, got the squad's opinion on it. Spider-Man has had, 5 films or something like that already?
Something.
Yeah.
What do y'all think in terms of that character? Obviously, he has such a long history, decades and decades of comics and whatnot. What do you think of his ability to maybe be reinvented, slightly darker, where his villains get a little grimier, a little more bloody? Is there a potential there to not see such a juvenile Peter Parker where he's like 18 to 22? Maybe he's a little older and doing more adult stuff, similar to maybe a Daredevil or something like that. Is that potential there?
I don't think so. I don't think, since Marvel has him in the MCU, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that they're going to allow Peter Parker to be that character. I think they found the characters that they want to do that with: the Punisher, the Daredevils, the Jessica Joneses, more than likely Luke Cage and Iron Fist. I think they found those characters that they want to go that dark route, and they're going to leave Spider-Man strictly to keep that $1.3 billion to rolling in, and for the kids. I just personally think they're going to do that, and I think they released, like when they were talking about the movie, that Peter Parker on film will always be white and in high school, and he's always going to stay a virgin and all of that. So
damn, they said a virgin?
I think that he's always going to be a virgin, and he's not going to be like
ain't no way
having sex. And I was just like,
Hey, Spider-Man needs to bust some nuts, basically.
That's what I'm saying.
Start shooting up people
I
and
think
shit.
they said his webbing is an analogy for him busting nuts.
I heard that.
At first, he was in the room and I'm like walking. He's like, no, don't come in. He's like covered in it. But even to go off what Fred said, I don't think that'll ever happen with Spider-Man, just simply because too many kids buy his shit. There's always people that go back and say, well, there's been times where Superman snapped somebody's neck, or there's been times where Batman's been dark. Yeah, you can probably give me 1% of the comic books where he was, but the majority of it he's not. So most people and kids don't know Spider-Man to be dark. And Spider-Man traditionally isn't dark. And Marvel, to give them credit, and DC I think is going to do the same thing, is really creating two different worlds to say, well, look, if you want something dark as shit, take your ass to Netflix. If you want that nice kitty shit, we have Spider-Man right here for you. We're not gonna make our characters. They can't be both sides of it because clearly we're trying to create a long-lasting brand. But like Fred said, Spider-Man makes over $1 billion a year off merchandise, and majority of that is kids buying it.
Yeah.
Me and Fresh, we're still trying to figure out how much merchandise Batman vs Superman sold because it cannot be that good because the movie is so damn dark and violent. Most people didn't take their kids to go see it. So so there's gonna be a good. That's why Spider-Man would probably never. My son was walking around in some Spider-Man house shoes a minute ago. That right there, you don't see Deadpool house shoes. You don't see Punisher house shoes. Not for no 3-year-old. So I don't think Spider-Man will ever go dark. And he makes too many jokes to be dark. He'll walk in on a sexual assault and say, "Ha!" I'm glad I came at the right time. It just wouldn't fit.
There you go. Shit.
You know who I am.
Definitely. You guys had touched on it earlier, and Prodigy also mentioned about there's sort of like there's definite two sides of it where you have your comic book fans and then you have your sort of just strictly movie fans, and obviously something coming up soon is going to be Black Panther. Do you think that Black Panther is going to appeal to like non-comic book readers? Are they just going to go check out that movie based on what they see in the trailer, or do you think that it's going to miss a good portion of the audience that's not familiar with even reading the Black Panther comics?
So you're talking about like racially too, or no?
We can go there.
All right, let's hear it.
I was gonna go there anyway. But yeah, just overall, I think so. Just because Marvel has people eating out. Marvel has people eating out the palm of their hand at this point. Marvel kind of knows that whatever they make people to go see. That's why Fox throws that big ass Marvel logo when they promote their movies, and Marvel has nothing to do with the movies on Fox. But I think and Marvel has a good job of introducing characters in a way to where you kind of already care about them before they get solo movies. If you think about it, every major character outside of Iron Man was introduced in another movie slightly before they moved on to something else. So Black Panther popping up in Captain America. Granted, his role might not be as big, but you're going to see them. Fans are going to see him there and say, "Oh, that's that one guy. He had a lot of cool action scenes."
He whooped Bucky's ass.
Exactly. and to rephrase what I said, the only characters I can think of off the top of my head that weren't introduced before they had their own movie with the Guardians. I don't remember seeing any of them in any Marvel movies. But and as far as the racial aspect, it can make a big impact for the simple fact I said this on the podcast. The first comic book that I've completely fell into and absorbed into my psyche was Spawn. Simply because of the fact that was the first time I had seen a major black superhero. Yeah, we had Bishop with his Jerry curl, and yeah, we had Black Panther who popped up occasionally on cartoons, but Spawn was the first one. He had his own movie. It was action. He had a comic book where there was titties in it. I was like 10 years old, like, yo, this is lit.
Yeah, he had the animated show on
HBO.
Yeah.
So subconsciously, it did a lot for me. So it could be the same way with Black Panther. Subconsciously, that could really go a long way for minorities to see, like, yo, this is a black superhero whooping other superheroes' asses. Like, he's not on here like, running behind them and needs their help. Like, we haven't even heard T'Challa talk yet.
Yeah.
We seen him kick the shit out of Bucky though.
I mean, I kind of already see the effects of it. Like, I'm big on Tumblr. I'm not saying like I'm a big personality on Tumblr, but I'm on Tumblr a lot.
Talk your shit, nigga.
I'm on Tumblr a lot.
I'm big on Tumblr, nigga. Y'all check me out. You know I am.
I'm on there a lot, and like, one thing I do constantly see, like, I think, man, maybe when the first Civil War trailer came out and they showed Black Panther drop kicking the shit out of Bucky, which I was still hype over. And like all I saw was like little kids already dressing up like Black Panther and wanting to be Black Panther. So
that's Disney right there.
And it's gonna do and like Disney's good at pushing a character, and Disney's good at knowing that people like this character. Disney know that black kids is gonna want Black Panther shit. Disney knows that.
Shit, I want Black Panther shit, and I'm grown.
Yeah, like Disney knows that. That's just like Doc McStuffins is outsold Barbie for like the last 5 years. Disney knows their market well, and Disney's gonna push that shit. So like I'm on Tumblr and I'm saying all these kids dressed up as Black Panther already before the movie even comes out. So after it comes out and kids really see what Black Panther can do and really learn who he is, by the time his solo movie comes out in 2018, the theater is gonna be lit. I think black people are really, really gonna be into that character, especially when they learn who that character is and what he embodies, I think black people are really gonna like the character and go see the movie.
Do you
I
think
don't
white
think he's
people?
gonna be on the cover of like Black Lives Matter, but
Nah,
I think it's
he
gonna be.
won't be. Yeah, he ain't gonna be the face of Black Lives Matter. But
Do you think white people will also have that same connection? Like white kids will have that same connection with Black Panther? Like, or do you think that sort of because he's black that some people might not just get into it, like younger audiences?
Kids won't give a shit. Honestly,
Yeah.
they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, let me rephrase this. It really depends on your upbringing. There might be a few jackasses out there whose parents might be like, oh, I don't know about that baby, like that. Why don't you go be Spider-Man or something? But most kids don't give a shit. You know, once again, Spawn resonated with me only because subconsciously I'd never seen that before. But that didn't stop me from playing Spider-Man or somebody other than the Black Ranger when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't give a shit. But
yeah, because I was a Red Ranger one year for Halloween.
I had a friend of mine who wanted to be the Pink Ranger so bad. Yes, he was a guy. Yes,
I was about to ask that.
when we were 8 years old, we were like, "Why you want to be the Pink Ranger?" She's a girl. He's like, "I want to be the Pink Ranger," but that's neither here nor there. But now I don't think I think white kids will, cause like I said, younger kids don't give a damn. Now, like I said, there are some of those bigots out there that the parents are like, no, you can't do that because you're not black. But
I was gonna say you won't see like little white kids in blackface trying to be what's it, Cthulhu? Not Cthulhu.
T'Challa?
Yeah, trying to be T'Challa. They're gonna usually see little white kids dress up as the Black Panther. You're not gonna see like blackface going on. But
I hope not.
No,
Yeah.
I hope not. Shit, that won't turn out well.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Little Evan
we're
came to
gonna
school
see
with
it
blackface
somewhere.
on. I think you should come get him. He's been
Yeah,
harassed by
there's something wrong with this kid. So I know we talk about like there's the people who read comic books fans and there's people who just watch movies. Where do you put people who watch like animated series of shows? Like, what categories would you put those people into?
Well, I let me split them up into people who watch them, and then there's DC fans who latch on to them because that's all they have in the anime department.
Boom, shot
I say that
Bang,
because, like, I mean, animated films are strictly for comic book fans. That they make those just for that. Like, you can't. There's no way you can look at a DC animated film and know what the hell is going on if you've never read a comic book. They make those strictly for comic book fans, but they do rank high because it does add to the psyche and the knowledge that you get from them. Because if you think about it, if I say, you know what, I'm not going to sit down and read the whole Death of Superman storyline. Fuck that bullshit. I can just buy the Doomsday DVD and watch it. Yep. So, I mean, like I said, it goes high up on, especially like I said for DC fans because they've been number 2 for so damn long. They love to brag that hey, we're killing Marvel in the animated movie department. I say, yeah, because Marvel doesn't put out animated movies, so you had that one. But,
yeah. Now, do you think that any of these animated movies have the potential to actually go into the box office? Because that's what we never see. Like, can that ever happen? Standalone animated movie, Marvel or DC, and actually do well in the box office. Is that possible?
I think me and Confucius may differ on this. I think they could.
So,
holy shit.
Not the Killing Joke, because it's already said the Killing Joke is going to be rated R, so that definitely couldn't go in the box office and make no money.
No.
But I think Son of Batman or Batman versus Robin could have went into theaters and made a decent amount of money. It wouldn't have grossed like $1 billion. Although I'm sure DC fanboys would have said it would, but it wouldn't have grossed $1 billion. But I think it would have did a nice amount of profit for an animated DC film. And it's all how DC and Warner Brothers chose to promote it. If they put the right push behind it, like say a Disney does their animated films, then yeah, I think it can make money. But I think it would definitely help them sell more merchandise. Definitely, like I think it would.
It'll be a damn Batman movie. That's all.
Of course, all it is Batman out there.
They throw like one Flash movie out every 10 years and a couple Superman and 20 Batman movies.
Right, I ain't seen Flash movie since Flashpoint.
I think Flashpoint's the only one he's ever had.
I think so too.
Flashpoint's the only one.
Damn.
Because Batman had a few. He had Batman and his son, and Batman versus Robin, and
all of them.
Batman Attack on Arkham.
Even the Justice League ones are heavily
Batman.
Yeah, like Justice League War. It's mainly about Batman trying to kill the whole fucking crew.
DC licenses out Batman, like I think 6 times more than any other character they have. Yeah. They know that's their cash cow. Yeah. They know damn well that we can make a Green Lantern movie, but nobody's probably gonna buy it. So we're gonna make a Batman movie. Batman story. I'm surprised they made her shit.
Access to Blue's bank account.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Well, because I just got Batman. The one that just came out.
Justice League versus Teen Titans.
Oh yeah, I just got that one. It was fucking dope.
Bootleg.
Nice.
Fresh bootleg every damn thing.
Damn. Now let me ask
Yeah,
you.
I really do. I really do. I got a Deadpool and The Force Awakens and Batman vs Superman all on bootleg. HD.
You know, this is so unrelated, but I literally just saw this before we got here. Somebody mentioned the fact that they didn't like Batman and Batman vs Superman because Batman is not known to be such a team player when it comes to Justice League. And in this movie, they made it seem like he's the quarterback of everything. Like, oh, we need to bring them together, so we need to fight together. I'm like,
Have they never read a book or watched an animated film? He is the fucking quarterback of everything.
no, but you know, I do kind of remember him being more like, you know, I'm here only because I don't have to be. I just choose to be.
I mean, yeah, like on the Justice League, the cartoon, it was at one point where they tried to kick him out, and he was like, "Remember, I'm a part timer," and he smooth walked off.
Yeah. I'm just
I think I
contracting
remember that
bitches.
Well, you know, my biggest problem with Batman and B versus S, which we talked about a whole bunch of times, he was actually the dumbest motherfucker in the room. Like, he was so slow. What I know him as is a detective, and that motherfucker was 8 steps behind Lex and 8 steps behind fucking Wonder Woman and everybody else. But, you know.
What makes it so bad is that he was supposed to be Batman for 20 years at that point. I'm like, damn, did you lose your detective skills in the last 20 years? Like, how did you not know that Martha wasn't his mom? Like, how did you not know Clark Kent wasn't Superman? Like you just said, he was behind every damn body in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, did you let rage consume you that damn much? Where you just said, fuck, YOLO, fuck it. I'm just gonna just Superman's ass. I said, what if Superman's mom's name wouldn't have been Martha? What if her name would have been Janet? So you was just gonna kill him?
Yeah. Not even it.
Now you know that.
I don't know who Janet is, bitch.
You know that was their safe word for their relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That was such a goddamn Deus Ex Machina moment. I'm like, really? Martha, that's what we're going with here? I told Fresh I was done with the movie when Batman got lifted up by those bats like he was a bat Jesus.
Yeah.
Not doing it. Not doing this.
I'm kind of glad they made it. They made him say like, oh, he was dreaming and stuff like that. Because when I saw that scene, I was like, what the fuck? Super Batman doesn't fly. What the hell?
That's what the hell's going on in here. What the fuck is this? I said, okay, Chris. Okay, Zack Snyder. Okay, I see what you're trying to do here.
You know,
I mean, like I said, the movie wasn't bad. It just I can definitely understand why a lot of people were like, oh hell no, hell no.
Batman did a lot of dreaming in that movie.
Like, we try to be objective. Like me and Fresh would be the first to tell you that Avengers 1 and 2, although they were okay movies,
Same damn movie.
The exact same damn movie.
Same plot, everything.
But you know, no, Batman was way better.
Well, I mean, and here's my thing too. Even with the MCU, when they kind of come out lukewarm, and I thought Ant-Man was kind of lukewarm. You know,
and
it definitely was.
Age of Ultron 2, and maybe even some of the Thor movies were kind of lukewarm. Those get completely overshadowed. You know what I mean? And it's all Guardians and Winter Soldier and movies that were absolutely some of the best, like Iron Man 1. But, you know, not everything in the MCU is a 9 out of 10. It just ain't.
It's not.
The first Captain America, I fall asleep on it every time I watch it.
I hate that first one.
No matter if it's on DVD or if I'm watching it on TV, I fall asleep every time. Every single time. Never can make it through the whole movie.
I can't. Honestly, a lot of the Phase 1 movies, only Phase 1 movie I can watch. The Phase 1 movies I hate are Iron Man 2, which Fresh fucking likes.
I like Iron Man 2.
Captain America, Thor 1 was it was good the first time, and I watch it now I fall asleep.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it. Other than that, like I said, not all Marvel movies are perfect, but Marvel movies are so damn easy, so you can watch those and be, you know, high or drunk or probably on a pill and still understand it. You know, DC's trying to make these old
super complex ass.
Everybody trying to watch these motherfuckers in tights. Everybody trying to think during these shits. What the fuck? And when that, like, I got into it one guy. He's like, "There's Greek mythology themes throughout Batman vs Superman." I said, "No, the fuck it's not. No, the fuck it is. Stop trying to find Watchmen shit in this movie. It's not in there."
There's only one. It's him being like a demigod, and that's it.
Yeah, we never seen that before in the movie.
I guess
that's the first time we've ever seen that. I said every superhero movie after Marvel, not saying Marvel started, deals with morality and how the public perceives superheroes. X-Men dealt with that shit at X-Men 2. Don't act like Batman vs Superman was the first movie to fucking do it. That's why I get into it with these fans a lot, because they trying to justify the complexity of this movie. Like, it's not that deep. It was just superheroes dealing with the same shit they always fucking deal with. Except that Batman is a horrible detective and Superman doesn't know how to smile. Those different we have in these movies. And DC does not know how to use the sun in their damn movies, because they like all the movies set in the damn evening.
Overcast.
Well, based on that sort of train of thought, and I remember you guys were pretty passionate about your opinions on Deadpool, and when you guys were talking about that, I remember listening to that, and you guys were had me rolling with your takes on Deadpool. You guys want to just touch on that?
Yeah, we probably were drinking. We drinking.
No, yeah, we were drinking, and we did the show like right after we had just seen Deadpool. So our excitement was like high, and like I said, I bootleg Daredevil because I go to the movie.
Bootleg everything.
But I pay to go see it in the movie theater. I'm just not gonna pay for it. I'm not paying $20 for a DVD and I can get it for free. No, I'm sorry.
I love this.
And
Wait, you had to pay for
like,
that bootleg, right?
like yeah, we were just hyping. I watched it again and I was like, yo, this movie's still just as good. It's still just as funny and still just as exciting. Like I still laugh. I even made my mama sit there and watch it. Like
Yeah, it was a funny ass movie. I mean, I will admit that I gave it probably like an 8 out of 10, a hard 8, but because it was sometimes I'm like, okay, like the part where he was getting done in the ass, I'm like, okay, I didn't need to see that.
I didn't need to see that shit.
I didn't need to see that.
But I fast forward through that part, honestly.
But I mean, it was dope. Yeah, I know. But it was dope. I give credit to Ryan Reynolds and Fox for, much people talk shit about Fox. I said, Fox, let this movie happen.
They greenlit it.
And they paid for the marketing. So, hey, man, kudos to them. It's funny because people will say, like, that's the type of character Deadpool is. I said, I remember Deadpool participating in anal sex in the comic book. I said, I mean, he always teetered that line of doing rated R shit, but he never was this damn rated R. But I mean, I'm all for it. I'm definitely all for it. I just hope that every movie after ain't trying to be rated R because they don't need to be.
Not everyone.
Like rated R Batman vs Superman. I said, what the fuck for? What the fuck? Stop that book. Once again, I'm gonna start going on a tangent. I don't give a shit if there were 10 Batman issues where he was doing some rated R shit. There's a 600 of them where he wasn't. I don't want to see that shit. I know he was a fucking serial killer in this one. Like, God damn, when he said fuck it, didn't he?
Yeah, I ain't no problem with Batman killing. He was lit. Batman was lit in this
This motherfucker said, fuck it, I'm not fighting nobody. I'm just shooting everybody.
I'm shooting and throwing metal wooden crates and throwing cars on top of people. I was with it.
He destroyed my childhood. That much. I said, God, then you shot Jimmy Olsen. I said, damn. Who hurt you, Zack Snyder? You and your wife having sex? You going into work mad. Kill everybody. Just kill everybody.
He wasn't produced on the movie.
That don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you real quick though. So we've touched on superheroes pretty well. Y'all are awesome. For the villains though, two of the biggest cosmic villains ever for Marvel and DC are obviously Darkseid and Thanos. And we haven't really seen them on besides the little cameos here and there with Marvel for Thanos, but we haven't really seen them on the big screen quite yet. What are you predicting with both of these characters? Are they going to get them right, or are you nervous about their portrayal?
I'm not. Well, let me say this. I'm not worried for Marvel because Marvel does a good job at depicting its characters the way that they are in the comic book, and I think that's a plus.
That's debatable.
Even villains? Even villains?
I mean, not, more so heroes than villains.
Because Ronin was that. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, they didn't do Ronin justice. They didn't do Ronin justice, and
they didn't do Warmonger justice. They didn't do Whiplash justice. They didn't do.
Well, I never like Whiplash as a villain any fucking way. I mean,
Loki. To be fair, I don't think I can think of Loki gets good.
They got Loki right.
That's one.
That's the only one I can think of.
They got Yellow Jacket right. Right.
Yeah, that's debatable. That's debatable. I love Marvel, but I'm not giving Marvel credit for no villains.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about Marvel in the aspect of Thanos. I think
I'm not either.
The way they have built Thanos up, I think they will depict Thanos the way that we all know and love him to be, the Mad Titan.
If he can snap his fingers and wipe out half the universe like he did in the Infinity Gauntlet comic book, that's all I need to see. He could sit there eating popcorn and watch everybody fight for 2 hours and I'd be good. I don't give a shit. If he does like he did in the comic book where he's talking to Mephisto and he snaps his fingers and half the universe is gone, including X-Men and Spider-Man, then I'm all for it.
Can I throw something?
X-Men will be gone.
Let me throw something.
That's gonna be the explanation why X-Men ain't in Infinity Wars. Oh, they got wiped out on Earth. They were never gonna be in it.
But I'm not worried from Marvel's aspect. DC, yeah, because Darkseid has never been on. Darkseid has never made it past an animated movie.
Yeah.
So, and DC and Warner Brothers like to take liberties with their characters just in general, whether it's a hero or villain. So, like they took liberties with Doomsday and BVS.
Yep.
And
they rushed the shit out of his ass.
They took liberties with Parallax and Green Lantern. So
I saw a trailer for that last night when I was watching the movie. I said, yo, look at the expectations for this movie before it came out. I mean, even back to what Fresh said, I'm not nervous with Thanos because they have spent so much time building him up slowly and to kind of really show that he's a puppet master. So if you think about it, they've been building up Thanos for almost, because Avengers came out 2012.
Yeah.
4
years. It'll be what? Infinity
By the time
Wars
Infinity
come out,
it'll be 6.
6 years. So that's 6 years of a character slowly being put into our minds and psyche about what he's about to do. Darkseid, I'm nervous about. One, because of what Fresh said about him never being on screen before. And two, I'm not 100% sold or trust DC that they're not going to rush him out there just to try to compete with what Marvel is doing. Because once again, we have a Batman vs. Superman movie where all these characters are being introduced, but they were never mentioned in the first in Man of Steel.
Nobody was mentioned in Man of Steel.
All we had was a Wayne satellite and a LexCorp truck.
And I didn't know that was a Wayne satellite. Once again, I really didn't know that was a Wayne satellite that fit.
But I'm just scared that they're going to throw out Darkseid so quick in Justice League 1 or 2 that when DC is making these other movies, it's like, who else do you have left? I mean, yeah, you have the Brainiacs, you have the Phalanx, whatever the fuck DC got going on.
But if you come at the gate with Darkseid, then
that's your biggest villain.
Following,
you have a whole story called Darkseid Wars going on right now.
Following with Brainiac is kind of like lackluster because
it's like going from Thanos to Ultron.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm interested in it, but I just I am a little nervous for Darkseid.
Yeah, I don't think.
And I'm also nervous for DC because Darkseid and Thanos are literally the same person.
Yeah, I was gonna say they shouldn't DC shouldn't have Darkseid anytime soon because it's just gonna compete with Thanos. People are gonna be like, hey, these are the same fucking people. DC's fucking copying Marvel. What the fuck?
Exactly.
And we said the same thing and got harassed online for it.
No, they're not. They know the difference. I said
Darkseid came before Thanos. Yeah, in the comic book, but in the movie realm, Thanos came before Darkseid.
Yep. Exactly. I said get out of the comic book store. Go into the real world. You'll see most people don't know the difference. They'll be like, what the fuck? This is the same damn person.
And if you ask a casual person, and if you ask the person who's watching these movies who Darkseid is, they're gonna look at you like, who the fuck is that? And then they're gonna like, oh, I know Thanos though. I know who Thanos is.
Look, we're so deep off in people that don't know comic books. I had somebody ask me once, was Ant-Man and Spider-Man related?
You never told me that shit.
Yeah, some chick she's like, does Ant-Man have something to do with Spider-Man? Are they like brothers? I said, no, they're two different characters. But people don't know how to differentiate between, like we know because like our minds are trained to, because like we know the characters, but most people don't know. So they'll see Darkseid and Thanos and be like, wait a minute. Wasn't that guy just in a Marvel movie? Like, no, he's two different people. No.
Well, I did see a video on Tumblr and a dude was arguing with his girlfriend because he wanted to go see Deadpool and she hollered off and said, I don't want to go see Spider-Man. He was like, it's not fucking Spider-Man. It's Deadpool. She was like, he in red. He was like, but it's not fucking Spider-Man. And she was like so adamant that Deadpool and Spider-Man was the same person. And I was like, clearly, people who go watch these movies who have nothing to do with comic books don't know the difference. They just see red, and they don't know the difference. So
that's really
if you put Darkseid on screen, they're just gonna look like Thanos.
Well, DC's gonna make Darkseid so damn evil and brutal that they'll probably have him on there beating up kids and old people. He's not Thanos. He's not Thanos.
I mean, this Darkseid, he probably would beat up kids and old.
Well, I was gonna say, I thought it was funny that you mentioned how the girl was saying that Deadpool looked like Spider-Man because I think in the comics and like the animated series they talk about that, like Deadpool tells Spider-Man like, hey, why you wearing the same fucking colors as me? Like, what the hell, man?
I think they did do that on Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, they did.
I love seeing those two together because Spider-Man's annoying by himself, but when you see somebody annoy Spider-Man, that's always right. Deadpool always annoys Spider-Man.
Deadpool made Johnny Storm quit the Avengers.
I'm still a little.
And he said, I think Johnny Storm said something like, he was like, Spider-Man talks a lot. I can handle Spider-Man talking, but I can't handle this guy. Yeah. He quit that day.
Real quick, I'm still a little nervous. I will say this. Because of Disney, I can tell you right now, they are going to get Thanos right. They're going to fuck up his motivation when it comes to death. And I'm just predicting that right now. They're not going to show death as his motivation as well as they do from the comics, I think. I just feel that way. I may be in the minority.
And you're talking about Lady Death, right?
Yeah, Mistress Death.
They've alluded to it at the end of Avengers. Whenever that little minion came up to him and said, these humans are more powerful than we thought. They're not scared to court death. That's when Thanos turned around and smiled. So that was kind of like maybe trying to say, hey, you mentioned my woman's name. I'm gonna turn around and give you a little smirk. But I'm like you. I don't think they're gonna make Lady Death a whole separate character. They might mention it in the past, and he might say some shit like, "You don't know what I've seen," or "I've experienced death in person," and she's the best love I've ever had, or some R. Kelly bullshit. But I don't think, because it's Disney, and I can't say I disagree with you. Disney is never gonna go that off the ledge.
I don't think
because at the end of the day, they're trying to sell merchandise.
Yeah, I don't think that's what I was gonna say. I don't think Disney's gonna make her her own character or like put her on screen because they can't sell her to kids. Like, how do you sell death to kids?
My man want to buy death. Excuse me?
I don't know,
What?
like-
I want to buy death, mommy. I want to be dead for Halloween.
Like, yeah, like how do you sell that to parents to have your kids see the human incarnation or personification of death on screen?
Yeah.
Like, I don't see Disney going that deep.
Oh man.
I hope they do though.
Comic book fans want it too, but
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, they
Oh, damn, Carlos
Marvel
coming in here.
has toned down Thanos. After Thanos lost
Check him out,
Infinity
see
Gauntlet, I
back
think
though.
they made a armor. So
Go ahead.
it's not like Marvel that just went that far with Thanos either. They bring him back and then take him back, and there's all kinds of shit.
But my main concern as far as DC with Darkseid is, I think I was telling Confucius this. With Darkseid, you have to introduce an entire world. You have to if you can't just bring Darkseid and it just be Darkseid. You got to bring everybody that comes with Darkseid. You gotta tell you gotta bring in fuck, I forgot his name already. It's on the tip of my tongue.
You talking
the
about?
other guy?
You gotta bring in like
The guy.
bring in like Mr. Miracle. You gotta bring in like Big Barda and all of those characters. If you're gonna introduce Darkseid, you can't just say, well, here's Darkseid and then move on after that. Like, nah, you can't do that. And I think comic book fans would be really pissed off if they introduce Darkseid and don't introduce anybody else from that realm.
It really just comes down to what pieces is DC putting in place to introduce Darkseid the best way possible. You give Marvel credit; they are slowly putting pieces together from the Infinity Stones to certain characters that play an important integral role in the Infinity Gauntlet story to make Thanos' story in the Infinity Wars the best story it can be closest to the comic books. I'm just concerned about what pieces DC are using to introduce Darkseid. Are y'all trying to rush him out there as fast as possible? Or are you going to do every important piece that makes Darkseid the character that he's supposed to be?
I kind of got the feeling that they're rushing them just from BVS and the whole dream sequence. It was not a dream sequence because I still don't know, still don't really care.
Well, it's supposed to be different. It's supposed to be different.
You see the Omega symbol, and then you see the parademons. Because I think I told Confucius, I'm like, yeah, Justice League is gonna be Darkseid. Like they already pushing, like they just push the signs out there. Like when you throw parademons out
They
there,
might as well have gave Batman a sign that said, "This way to the sequel."
yeah. Like once you throw the parademons out there, and then they confirmed that it was a mother box that attached itself to Cyborg when they showed him. I was like, all right, just say Darkseid is coming. You might as well just say the man's name. Lex might as well at the end of the movie have said Darkseid is coming instead of saying he knows he's been beaten.
I was on Skype with Darkseid before I came in this cell.
He might as
No,
well
but
just-
did you guys
he might
see
as well
the-
just say it like,
the
yeah,
deleted
they're
scene?
gonna bring him. They're gonna bring him. So
He watched me touching myself to his speeches. I'm like, you might as well have.
But can they hear me? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Did you guys see
You
the?
might need to intro yourself because
Yeah.
Okay.
one scene that they can't see you.
Yeah, this is Cronus. I'm
Cronus
here
just
now.
walked
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's 4 in here now.
Late as
Back in
fuck.
my studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd pick up somebody.
Color people time.
You
How
know,
about I turn the soundboard off? How about that?
Oh,
Anyway, did you see the deleted scene where they had Lex talking to somebody that was like a demon or some shit?
Yeah, and they thought what I read was it may be Steppenwolf
Yeah.
that he was talking to. So if they bring in Steppenwolf for the first Justice League movie, I won't be upset at that because I just don't want them to throw Darkseid out there and not bring in everybody that encompasses with Darkseid. Like I think that's just cheap or
Yawn.
lazy.
Yawn.
I know you don't like DC unless it's Batman. I know.
Well, it
I
would
know.
have made more sense though if it was Darkseid. It was
Yeah.
kind of weird. It's like this random thing.
yeah, it looks like a fucking demon or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they
Yeah,
could've
because
had him-
evil Mark Zuckerberg was really just scaring me and making me think his plans were just so nefarious.
Yeah. That was the Joker and the Riddler in one.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
It's funny because you see fans trying to say, "This is Lex Jr." I said, "Get the fuck out of here. That's
But-
fucking Lex Luthor." I know they said his dad started the company, but this Lex Luthor is fighting Superman, so he's Lex fucking Luthor.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
And even in the
Lex
comic
Jr.?
book,
'Cause he didn't say
Alexander.
his name was Lex Jr., which is weird because he said his dad started the company, but his dad isn't named Lex.
Yeah, it's like
It's some of the L though. It's like forget his goddamn
Yeah,
name.
that is true.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor's father's name isn't Lex, so
Yeah. So how
I don't know what.
Lex
Yeah, so
Fuck Zack Snyder.
and like I said,
Fuck that. Fuck his man. Fuck him because he can't. I said it, and I got chastised for it. He cannot make an original movie by himself. Yes, 300 was good because he basically adapted the damn comic book. Yes, Watchmen was good because he basically adapted the damn comic book. But 302 sucked outside of the sex scene. Sucker Punch fucking sucked. Dawn of the Dead was decent, but he basically adapted the movie. And then you see what happened he did with Batman vs Superman. It fucking was decent at best.
yeah,
Well, you know what's funny? Like I went back and watched 300 again, and that movie was great and all, but if you like put it in real time, like it's not a very long movie because everything is in fucking slow motion. So like literally, if you put the slow motion scenes at normal time, it's like a 40-minute movie, probably less than that.
Even the sex scene
Yeah.
was in slow motion. I said, "Damn."
Yeah, I'm like,
I
for real,
didn't mind
busting
the
fit.
I said, "I've never seen
nuts and
titties
shit.
bounce so slowly in my life." I watched a lot of Cinemax and porno.
Damn.
Oh man.
Damn. Okay.
Since we've been
Sir,
mainly sticking on the movies, let's switch over to TV shows. What are you guys feeling about like some of the smaller budget TV shows out there, such as like Daredevil, Flash, Arrow, Agents of Shield?
I will admit I haven't finished Daredevil yet. I've been busy and I'm trying to. Fresh finished it in like 2 hours because he had
Yeah.
That's
my boy.
not
I'm
true.
the same
That's
way.
not true. I'm sorry. I watched it the day. I watched it the Friday. It dropped before I went to work and on the way to work. And then when we were at the convention, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I was excited.
No, it's lit. I like Daredevil. This second season.
I think John Bernthal needs an Emmy.
Yeah,
There you
he's
go.
killing it.
He needs an Emmy for his monologue in the graveyard, and he needs an Emmy for his monologue in the graveyard and in the courtroom. He needs an Emmy for those because that shit made me believe he was like, yo,
Really
this
crazy.
man is really hurt. This man is really, really hurt. And when he was in the courtroom, I was like, yo, he batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Lock him up.
I mean, once again, you got to give Marvel credit. I'm honestly surprised that DC hasn't gone the more Netflix, but because Warner Brothers, who owns DC, has a stake in HBO, so I'm surprised that DC hasn't gone that route either to try to make some of their darker titles go, in that realm. Because I think what Marvel is doing is Marvel because they know that their movies cater to so many different people that they can kind of go darker with Netflix. And DC has dark titles under Vertigo, like Preacher, which is going to AMC. They have Swamp Thing, Constantine, the entire Justice League dark. You could take that to HBO.
Man, let's get
and
Dead
do
Man
what
on
the fuck
screen.
you want to do and kind of open up that world a little bit more as opposed to trying to make that dark ass shit on screen and trick kids into go seeing that shit and seeing Batman kill people and ruin their childhood like they did me.
Yeah, because Constantine on HBO or Showtime would have been lit.
Can you imagine?
Or
I can,
Deathstroke.
like Constantine
I
on
was
there.
talking to them one time.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I was gonna say DC has a show called Lucifer that's on CB. I think I want to say it's on CB.
Fox.
It's on Fox.
It should have been on HBO.
Yeah, it should be
Can
on
you
HBO.
imagine
It
that
should
show
be
on
dark as fuck.
HBO?
It should have been on HBO or Showtime or Hulu or Amazon. It should have been on something other than fucking
It's not
Fox.
going to Hulu.
Yeah, because the devil should be fucking people.
Yeah, he should be. He should be.
It should be fucking Maz.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. I'm not gonna lie. Now that's the only reason why I watch the show. Is for Maz. I only watch the show for her. So, I got into Lucifer. It was funny, but then after a while, I kind of it was just on in the background.
Yeah.
And then Agents of Shield, I had to let that go.
I never watched that bullshit.
I couldn't tell you. I've seen episodes, but I couldn't tell you what was going on.
I'll say this. The TV show. I think we'll all agree with this. I'm happy that there's so much comic book shit going on at once because once again, we're all older. We remember a time when you were lucky to have one TV show on and all you had was Saturday morning cartoons and maybe one movie every few years. That wasn't Batman. So I appreciate all of it. I don't watch all of it, I'll admit, but I appreciate all of it. I personally am a fan of like more indie stuff, like Walking Dead. I was into early on.
I just started watching Walking Dead. The second half.
Beyond the Borders is a good show. Preacher, I'm definitely going to watch because I love the comic book before the show ever came out. But I appreciate all of it. I appreciate the fact that now I don't watch The Flash. I've watched a little bit of it, but I can understand why people like it because it's not a bad show. I can understand why people like Arrow / Batman because it's basically Batman without Batman in it.
It's Batman with no Batman. It's the best Batman show with no Batman. That means yes, it's better than Gotham.
Fuck Gotham because I don't want to see Batman at 12. But I can definitely understand why people like them, and I appreciate all these different shows because once again, it's so much going on that as a comic book fan, you're like, holy shit, this is like finally be able to have sex with the girl that you've liked for 10 years, and not only do you like her, she's the fucking freak in the bed. Like this is so much going on. I'm just amazed. So
God, the imagery that I just had.
Or whatever. But I'm all for it. I love it. I've said this, and I'm gonna say this, and mark my words. And this is from an earlier question. Comic book fatigue will eventually kick in. But what's going to happen is it's going to kick in and indies are going to come up because nobody knows indies. That's why I'm sure like Preacher and Walking Dead can come on and nobody knows a comic book.
I'm gonna be real
Right
honest.
over there.
I did not know The Walking Dead was based off a comic book until he told me.
Wow.
And he was like, "How the fuck do you not know that?" They flashed it in the beginning of the screen because I've never watched it.
Based off image comic book.
Because
Ryan
I've
Kirkman,
never
Tony
watched the
Moore.
fucking episode of Walking Dead until the second half of season 6.
And it's funny because indie comic books have already kind of seeped into the landscape, but because they're not advertised and is known as the bigger ones, they kind of get their own fan base that has no idea about the comic books. Like History of Violence, great movie. It was based off of a graphic novel.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that. I knew because I read the credits because my mom never lets me get up when I go see movies with her. That's the credits roll. But it's based off a graphic novel. Road to Perdition with Tom Hanks, based off a graphic novel. These are all indie comic books. Watchmen. A lot of people didn't know that was based off a comic book, which is surprising.
It was DC though. It wasn't really indie.
It was.
Well, that was Vertigo. That was Vertigo DC. That was
I
Vertigo
thought it
DC.
was under DC. though.
I'm talking about it like the sense of people that comic books that are like mainstream known, like Superman's.
V for Vendetta was on Vertigo. There's a lot of people that didn't know V for Vendetta was.
Everybody knows I love Alan Moore when he's talking about comic books. Now when he's talking about that weird other witchcraft shit.
Or Wanted was another good one.
Well, and then
Wanted.
Kick
The Wicked
ass.
and the
Wanted
Divine
the
is
movie
coming out
sucked.
too, so that would be a good one.
There we go.
I think it's gonna come out. I think next year or the year after that, The Wicked and the Divine, and it starts off pretty good. So I'm waiting for Saga though. That's my shit.
That would be
They said the what's the name, Brian Vaughn and
Brian K. Vaughn.
Fiona Staples said they'll never make a Saga movie.
what?
You know what?
They said they don't want to. They said they don't think it could be done, and they don't want to sell the rights.
Yeah.
It can be done.
Told me
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, I don't see that. I can't see that on screen.
I've actually talked to Fiona Staples one time, and she was like, "We've had many talks, but we don't. We're not right now. We're not comfortable
so much
trying to
fucking
sell
money
it."
at them. They're gonna be like, okay.
You know,
That movie has to be rated R. There's so
Yeah,
much
it's
shit in
rated
that comic book. I read one issue where that TV screen had a vision of an orgy with dicks all in it. I said, "What the hell?"
I was gonna say, you know what?
Yeah.
Somebody should do. The YouTube community out there should make a fan-made film of that comic book, just to show like proof of concept. Like, hey, people are fucking watching this shit. People want to see this. Like, let's make that shit happen, YouTube fans.
It probably already exists.
If you didn't already know this, Saga outsells every other comic book when it comes out except for Spider-Man and Deadpool currently.
Wow. Whoa, that's huge.
So yeah, and Walking Dead the same thing. Walking Dead outsells everybody except for those same and Batman, but they're extremely popular. Saga is the most popular indie comic book currently out. That's not Walking Dead. I think it's more popular than Walking Dead.
I got a question for you guys, since obviously we're here in California and everything, and we sort of have a lot of comic type activities with a lot of cons and everything going on. What's it like? What's it like being in Texas, being a black nerd in Texas? Can you tell us about like that? I think you guys are in Austin, right? Which is sort of different than the rest of Texas, but
we're still in the South.
Yeah, but it's still in the South. Austin's awesome from everything I've heard. But like, give us a little bit of some, I guess, what's going on down there in the Lone Star State with being a black nerd.
I guess I'll take it.
I pointed to you.
Oh, I didn't. Well, like you said, we're in Austin, so Austin is a different. In the state of Texas, Austin is a different monster in itself because we're the most liberal city and the most liberal county in the entire state of Texas. So things work a little different here. People are more open to us being, just they don't see us as black nerds. They just see us as nerds. Mm-hmm. We're just nerds. But since we've been doing our little convention tour, and I think we did 2 stops. We did 2 stops. We did Waco and Stevensville, and like what I noticed was like, there's very few black people here, and really the only people that are stopping and really talking to us and like buying stuff from us and just really like conversating with us are not black. I think majority of the black people that were at the conventions we were at, they walked past the table, they saw what we had, and they kept it moving. Like they didn't stop, they just glanced and just kept walking. Nobody stopped and said a word. Nobody stopped and said nothing. Say, "Oh, I like the shirts." But all the white people and the Asians stopped and conversated and
all the Asians
and spent money. Well, we're not going to get into that today.
All the Asians
and all of that. Your phone? And whatnot. But black. It's like black nerds see another black nerd in Texas and be like, "Oh shit, they're into the same thing," but they don't want to let it be known that they want to talk to somebody else that looks like them.
It's like that one skit where there's like 2 black dudes at the same place at the same time. Like, oh no, you gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta tap the person out. It's like, all right, we hit our Negro quarter right now. We have to go.
That's hilarious. But like besides the actual Austin area, is it awkward or like? I mean, I lived in Louisiana for a good bit of time, and things were kind of much different than moving out here to California. So, but other areas of Texas, is it like? Are there a lot of like comic book places you can go outside of Austin and outside the main cities and stuff, or a lot of like conventions and stuff, or is it just mainly Austin, Houston?
It's just basically Austin, Houston, and Dallas.
I mean, the bigger ones are in Austin, Houston, and Dallas.
We have like down here. We have this comic book store called Austin Books and Comics, which has been around for I think almost 30 years, and they're pretty legit. They get their own variants down there for like Image Comics and shit. So they're pretty legit. But
yeah, and it's like in Austin, it's like the main comic book store for people who say they into comic books, and like if they say they go into a comic book store, more than likely they're at Austin Books and Comics.
Oh shit! What's that one?
That's mine, by the way. And that's mine. That's mine. It's actually signed by Mike Zeck.
Nice.
I just saw it. That's why I was like, oh, this is kind of.
I mean, yeah, the box is right there, but but like yeah, like everybody in Austin, if you're into comic books, you frequent Austin Books and Comics. I just bought Black Panther, the first appearance of Black Panther from them for $200.
I gotta get my Harley Quinn out of there. Holy shit! I just forgot about that.
You ain't trying to get that shit out. But like,
so people can never say I hate DC. I have DC. I have the first appearance of Lobo, Batman #1, New 52, and Batman 612, where Superman is choking him. It's also the sketch video.
To be honest, for somebody who does not like DC, you have more DC comics than I do.
I like DC.
Call them out on it. Call them out.
You got like you got more than I think you said that when we were in Stevensville at the convention. You were like, how does it I don't like DC? I got more than you.
At the end of the day, me and Fresh, we like comic books, but we're also businessmen. We specifically go after comic books that we know are going to eventually be worth money. Fresh bought the death of Elektra knowing the second season she was probably going to die in there.
And she did.
So I bought 612 because I knew Batman getting choked by Superman was probably going to be worth some money. I bought the first issue of Alias with Jessica Jones because I knew the second season of Jessica Jones would be good. But I love comic books though.
There you go. So how do y'all? How would people find your cast? Give some shout outs. I know y'all on Twitter. I know y'all on Facebook with the group. Give your plugs.
Your Tumblr.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on Tumblr. Hit us up at thosedamncomicbookguys.tumblr.com. Join the Facebook group on
Facebook.
I do that every time.
On Bang Bros.
I do that every time. Yo, that'd be lit.
You gotta get on Pornhub. Tell everybody how to say the comic book.
Y'all would call me Confucius Bones. I'd be all in that.
But yeah, we got the Facebook group, Those Damn Comic Book Guys. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, Those Damn Comic Book Guys. You can go to SoundCloud, Those Damn Comic Book Guys. You can Google us, just Those Damn Comic Book Guys, and every place that hosts podcasts, we're on there. That we pop up. Twitter at TD Comic Book Guys.
We got to plug our sponsors because this ain't the March
Go
time.
ahead.
Once again, go to Fiverr.com, which is FIVERR.com, and use our code Comics20. Get 20% off on the whole site. They got resumes, voiceover, graphic design. It's very cheap. If you listen to our show, that British lady talking, we got that from Fiverr.
For less than $5 because we use the code.
It was supposed to be Jamaican, but she's like, I can't do Jamaican. So I said, whatever, just do British.
I'm not gonna lie, I like British, and she sounds very, very sexy.
But yeah, we can go there. Also, we're on audibletrial.com, www.audibletrial.com/comicbookguys. You can get a 30-day free trial of downloads for anything.
That means comic books as well, people.
Free. Check that out.
A month of free comic books.
And shout out to you guys, Blacker Than Infinity, man, for having us on your show. It was. And thank you guys for knowing what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, you'd be surprised how many people ask us stupid ass questions. Like, how do you feel about Spider-Man wearing a mask? I'm like, what the fuck are you even talking about? What kind of question is that?
Left old ninja at home.
Yeah, exactly.
He gives us comic theories.
Me and Fresh both listen to our show, and I think it's amazing. So yeah, it's definitely dope that. Shout out to you, Salim, because I've talked.
Oh, you use government name.
Wait, what's you have a fake name?
That's all good.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's all good.
We sure your name back was on that shit. Who the fuck is this talking to me with this M name? Who the fuck is this? Tell me, who are you? Are you Confucius? I'm like, I don't even know who you are. Police officer.
It's all good, man.
But no, yeah, man, appreciate y'all. I'm sorry for having us on your show. We're about to go to Houston in a minute to What we eat crawfish and drink?
Yeah, we're going to crawfish and get lit.
Fucking right. Yes.
Well, y'all are awesome. Again, I love the show. We all love the show. Every week I'm listening and cracking up on my BART ride or at work when I'm supposed to be doing spreadsheets and shit.
That's me. That's me and my job. I'm supposed to be uploading documents. I've been listening to y'all podcast and every other podcast the past time.
Hey, I'm supposed to be watching kids and I'm not doing that. So
a lot of people try to say that Batman vs Superman had the biggest opening in Brazil because it's a big market. That's bullshit. The only thing Brazil is known for is having a huge population with AIDS. Don't let them fool you.
Oh man, we got a lot of listeners in Brazil. Goddammit.
Well, shit, they know.
Have you
They
seen
know.
the booty though?
Ask them to go to the clinic. Ask them to go to the clinic. We're trying to know your status. Know your status.
please know your status. Please know your status.
Know your status. And shout out to Luna, who's a porn star from Brazil. She's still down there until I said what's up.
Damn. If y'all in Cali ever, y'all got to roll through. You know?
Yeah.
For sure, man.
We'll be
For
out there
sure,
sooner than you think. I got family out there, so we're trying to get out there and get out of Texas because these little small hick country towns with KKK restaurants. And
yeah, man. Last convention went to. Quick story. Our original hotel was in a place called Dublin, Texas. Yes, Dublin. And like the first thing we saw when we came in, like 2 blocks away from the hotel, was a house with the Confederate flag just waving proudly off their front porch. And as soon as I turned and I saw it, I was like, "Oh hell no, we not staying here. No, we canceling this. We canceling this." So we went and canceled. Then we went to Stephenville and we had already booked our room in Stephenville. We left, and then like passing us was this white guy in this big ass dually pickup truck, and he had Confederate flags all over, all stickered all over his truck. Talking about "Come take it." And I was like, "Zeke, no, fuck that shit. Nope, not staying here. Nope, not at all, not at all." And then we got to Stephenville. The people that was at the convention, they were like,
they were at
it was an
our
active,
panel.
they were at our panel, and it was like, it's an active KKK club in the next town
Damn.
over, which we had to go through to get back home. And I was like, yeah, see, man, nah.
The restaurant was called the Country Club.
The Coffee Club.
Coffee Club.
Country Coffee Club.
Country
something.
Coffee.
Yeah. I was like, nah,
Nope,
fuck that
let's
shit.
keep on
Fuck
driving.
that shit.
I'm not that hungry.
Take a long way home.
They said the KKK actively meets there.
Yeah, so
pretty.
like we say, it's still Texas, it's still the South, and it's still racist.
Damn. All right, y'all. Thank y'all again. We will continue messing with y'all online, and we appreciate you.
Hey, and also, we're setting up our new studio. This is what you're seeing behind us. Is what new studio's gonna be at. So we'll definitely, try checking with y'all and have y'all on our show too.
All right, cool.
Appreciate it. Much
All
love.
right, thanks, y'all.
All right,
No
thank
problem,
you.
thank you.
All right. So are we on the podcast? Or are we still gonna chop it up? Or we got some shit we should probably do.
We should probably do some of them reacts too.
We got reacts and then we got the shit for VZA. So
Yeah, yeah. Actually, we could do some of that.
all right, well we're still recording, so this is all on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
So let's roll out.
Well,
I was playing the outro music and then he's like, let me tell the story, and I was like, all right.
It was like at the Oscars and shit where they try to play you off.
But I
love that. That was
I know.
dude. I miss my southern accent.
Yeah, those guys.
All right, there we go. All right, now we can bullshit as we're doing the outro.
All right. Eggplants are her future. Yeah.
Yeah,
Check
thanks
out.
for watching. Or, sorry.
Hit up on our iTunes and rate us.
We should get a Pornhub fucking
Yeah.
Pornhub /
Pornhub
Black
channel.
Baby.
Yeah.
That's what we need to
Be
do.
hilarious. And just use the chat room.
Yeah.
Use the comments. Just for like,
Where can we find adhesive?
Fallout 4.
We should definitely fucking do that.
One of those light bulb moments.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll start posting our videos up on there.
Thank y'all for joining. Peace.